Yo, what up, though, man? I got Matt Legacy in the building. What's good?
What's up, fam? What's good, man?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. You know, a super producer, hit maker.
Trying to be, definitely trying to be.
Definitely got your hands in some big placements, some great records, man. To this day, if you were to put your top three placements, who would your top three be?
For myself, I would have to start off with playing skills, doing their Red October project. That kind of gave me some notoriety in the city. Next one, I would say Dame Dash, just because for me, it was pretty special because I got to produce for one of his shows, but they had somebody else, and
Got you.
a friend of mine plugged me with the placement opportunity, and I got to talk to Dame. He was like, "Yo, this is dope," and he actually dropped the other dude's record and picked mine's over it. You know what I mean, personally, and I got to see that, so I thought that was pretty dope. And then I would say the next one would probably be uh, Serena Williams fashion show.
That's hard.
Yeah, I think that was dope because it was her first fashion show, and then also it was first fashion show for a new clothing line. But I had to make the same record. I had to produce it like 40 times. Like I had to keep doing the beat over, and I was like, I'm not gonna get this placement. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
And finally, in the end, they was like, nah, we love it. After like the 45th version, they picked like the 32nd version.
What? So go through that process. Like, why did you have to restructure the beat?
So with the fashion show, they had a playlist. Serena Williams, so she had Beyonce records playing. She had some Rihanna stuff, and then she had a couple major records. But the placement opportunity for the song was important because it wanted to align with the outfits of the fashion show.
Got you.
So if the record didn't hit a certain way, and they wanted to use this particular record that I had produced already, but they wanted to arrange it for the fashion show. So that was the issue, making it mesh with the transition and not notice a drop in it. So shout out to Chris and the front runners for plugging me with that one. But yeah, it was pretty difficult, man. Like I said, took me like 2 weeks straight, like producing the same record.
Oh man, I know that is. Does that get disheartening?
Yeah,
When you was like, man, obviously I'm not getting this right. Do those thoughts go through your head or?
yeah. Like for me, it definitely, you always have those doubts, especially when you've been doing it for a while and you think you're dope. You know what I mean? You
Got you.
always just gotta remind yourself that you're dope. And it's not like when you're in it for a while, you realize it's not necessarily that you're not dope. It's just about creating what they want. You know
Got
what I
you.
mean? So I think that's the hang up a lot of people have with producing.
Got you. So let's take it back. Me and you known each other for some years
Yeah.
now. In fact, I want to say we might have met 2013, 2014, somewhere in
Yeah.
there. So you
I
talking
want to
about?
say, yeah, 2012 is when we started the
Yeah,
readings. Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's about right. So we almost going on 10 years, a whole
yeah, it's
decade, man.
crazy.
You know what I'm
Crazy.
saying? Meeting in the whole studio space. You know what I'm saying? Me and Say Cheese was in one suite. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? You, Gumbo, and Flame was in
Hmm.
one suite. And at the time, did y'all actually have a name?
Yeah, we had a production group. Gumbo and Flame had the studio next to y'all initially. Then Gumbo had reached out to me, my bro Camp, and my other bro Track Boy. He's like, we need to make a super group of producers. You know what I'm
Got
saying? He
you.
was like, we're all dope. We should work together. And then he had a bunch of opportunities. He was working on trying to get his situation with Eric Bellinger. So, a lot of times we got to travel for that. We was going back and forth. I mean, we even did a bunch of sessions with y'all. We sold you some beats during the
Yeah.
Ebola
Yeah,
virus.
that was wild.
That
Hey,
was a crazy time.
and
But,
people tripping about, I mean, well, you should trip about COVID, but this is nothing new to me.
bro, nah, the way all the stuff y'all had to go through, bro, I
Now
don't
the
even know
world
how
go
you.
through it. The whole world go through it.
It's crazy, man. But yeah. So
Like linking up with like Gumbo and like with the placements. I know like for you guys, like you like Day 26, like who were some of how did y'all link up with Day 26 and leading to Eric Bellinger and being that conglomerate?
man, just honestly being in the right place at the right time. Like, you know, like even with playing skills, I just happened to produce a record for their artist. I didn't even know he was their artist. You know what I mean? At the time, he was just somebody I knew was buzzing in the city. I was like, yeah, I give him the beat. You know what I mean? We did a meeting. They like my stuff, and you got to be consistent. The biggest thing I had to learn is being consistent because anybody can get the opportunity. You know what
Gotcha.
I mean? You could just be walking down the street, see this dude. I mean, this happened to me a bunch of times. You know what I mean? And sometimes the opportunity works to where I could play them records. Sometimes it doesn't. But the key is once they give you the opportunity is to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So when we were working with J26, we did it. Like Gumbo produced the music for their show. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Not only he's producing records, you know what I mean? We're talking to them regularly. You know what I mean? Like even though Eric was in LA, we're talking to him on FaceTime. He's like, I need this. You know what I mean? He's sending us records with Party Next Door on it, Ty Dollar Sign, you know, so it's like you're hearing this stuff. So it can be overwhelming, but the key is to be consistent because most people aren't. You know what I mean?
No, no doubt. So like when it comes to like placements and being a producer, how hard is it to actually get a placement? I remember back on my podcast I interviewed Sam Harvey when he right around the time he had got the Rick Ross placement for the hook on Lucky Charms, and he said like him and Gumbo had did that song like years ago.
It's very
Or Jay Oliver, I'm sorry. Him and Jay Oliver had did that
yeah,
song years ago.
it's very I would say it's very difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times if you're not in the camp, like if you're not the in-house producer, it's very difficult because they got a team of producers, they got a team of songwriters they're already working with. So you got to infiltrate that. On top of that, then you got to build that relationship. So it could be very difficult, especially depending on who you shopping for. Like like I said, we were like Gumbo ended up getting a Party Next Door placement, but like we did that record for like weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
and that record had like 10 different people on there, but it's about like believing in the record. So like sometimes I think a lot of people get discouraged if the first person they give it to doesn't pick it up. You know what I mean? Like the records I got that I'm working on right now, I just got two that are potentially about to be picked up. They're 6 years old though.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how old it is, it's just how you work it.
But do you feel like, when it comes to music and production and creating these records, these are your babies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you work so hard to make this music and then you send it out and it's almost like it's sitting in dead space until it's not.
Right.
And you feel like, do you ever feel like, oh, it's something that you gave out that you possibly could have used somewhere else because you don't hear nothing?
Yeah, I mean, so what I do is that's very discouraging. Like when I first started, like you're sitting there waiting. But, if nobody signs the paperwork, you don't owe anybody anything. And this is the thing that producers have to realize. We're super loyal
Mm,
to whoever we work with, even if we don't even know them. You know what
got
I
you.
mean? Because we're like, oh, we love music. You know what I mean? We're the ones who's gonna sit in there hours after everybody's gone. But if you send it, you gotta be willing to part from it. That's what I learned with doing a lot of placements. If you're not willing to get rid of the songs, you can't be married to these songs because then you're gonna miss out on money. Now,
Facts.
if you want to be an artist, that's a different conversation. But if you're trying to be a producer and a songwriter, then you definitely should be willing to give away whatever.
So like when it comes to that, when you producer does find out they getting the placement,
Hmm.
and when you start talking money, at what point do you talk money? And usually from the time that you find out you got the placement and the album is out, how long does it normally take you to start seeing money start to flow in?
It depends on the situation. So, like, for instance, I got an opportunity to work on Enchanting's album, but I don't know if I made it or not. But in that situation, they told us up front what they were offering. You know what I mean? So they paid a certain amount up front, and then on the back end, whatever we accrued on royalties.
Got you.
Certain situations, like if you're shopping for a potential opportunity, it depends on your relationship currency with that person. So I was in I had an opportunity to work with Sweetie, and she picked up 3 records, but she never dropped them because the relationship currency that I had with the person that she was going through wasn't as strong as she had with another producer's camp.
Got
You
you.
know what I mean? So it just depends on the situation. Um, A lot of times when you're dealing with labels, they're gonna try to offer you the money up front though, because they don't want no issues in the back end.
So like, how does it that some artists, a lot of producers end up getting kind of screwed out of not getting paid? Because normally that's always the campaign: pay your producers, pay your producers.
It
Why?
depends on the producer. Honestly, if you don't speak up, you're not gonna get paid. Also, when I was younger, I didn't know what to say. You know what I'm
Got you.
saying? So a lot of times dudes don't have these opportunities. You know what I mean? Like I started working with Playing Skills 2011. You know what I mean? Right before I met you. You know what I mean?
Got you.
And this 10 years in. So like it just depends on, your experience in it. So a lot of times people don't have experience, so they end up getting fucked over. They don't sign paperwork. They don't do their splits up front.
We're in a new phase where people are big into this digital art,
Right.
which is crazy, right? Twitter sold its first tweet for like a couple of $1 million. Like people are taking digital copies or whatever they did, and this is funny, right? Because usually the original makes the money, not a copy of.
Right.
But these are all digital copies of the original artwork. So tell me about that space that you're getting in with this digital art.
Called NFTs, right?
Okay.
So like I said, it's called NFTs, also known as non-fungible tokens. The digital art you're referring to is actually something that you can put on the blockchain. You see websites like NBA Top Shot, they have one. Mark Cuban has a bunch of NFTs. It's a bunch of people working on NFTs right now. But basically, think Andy Warhol, right? When he came out with the picture of Campbell Soup can, how could you do that, right? Campbell Soup is already copyrighted the can, but he sold a picture of it, the can, for $1 million. How you think he did that?
I mean, it was his picture.
Right,
So
but it was exclusive though. But all he did was repaint the picture. He didn't change anything on the can, right?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so my bad. So like with Andy Warhol, right? With that picture, it's the same concept with the digital art. You know what I mean? So for people who are creatives like ourselves, like you can turn your most exclusive interview into an NFT, put it
Right.
on a blockchain, have people bid on it, and then make money off it, right? So a lot of people are confused about what's the benefit of it. You know what I mean? So if you're a creator, especially in the music space, you've dealt with people trying to steal your stuff, especially if you're a producer or what have you. People pirating software, all that type of stuff, right? You've heard of iLocks, what protects it. So an NFT is kind of like an iLock, right? It'll be your serial number to protect your music. And then you don't have to go through the label for distribution because you see in this space, the NFT community is very small. So you can get a bunch of people to bid on it. You hop on Clubhouse, you might make $1 million tonight.
So kind of explain it. So if I'm a producer, or let's say if I'm Rainwater, right, and managing Mo3, and I take the last video that Mo3 ever dropped,
That would be dope.
and I say I'm gonna put this on the auction block. People can bid to get the rights to this final video.
Well, no, it's not necessarily the rights. Okay, so like for instance, he doesn't even have to put the full video on there. He can put a clip of it. So they own that clip. Okay, so it depends on how Rainwater would want to do it. If he decided to make it an NFT, he could do pieces of each one. And then if you collect it, then you can get the full video.
Gotcha.
And then you can re-auction it off and sell it, and then you make royalties off of it. But you don't have to go through BMI, ASCAP, or anything.
Got
you know what I mean? So it just depends on how you create the contract on it. So you can make it to where you get no royalties and they just completely own the song.
Or if they was to resell it, they would have to
Right.
continue to pay you every time it was
Right.
resold going through. Okay.
So just think collectibles.
I mean, you could think of a lot of stuff. Like I look at like Breakfast Club, some of their very early
Right.
interviews that they can chop up, or the Birdman part.
Bro,
All three of y'all.
I was literally just talking to my bro about that. I was like, man, if Big D or Sean just created an NFT and put it on the blockchain, I guarantee you probably would make thousands of dollars, bro. Because like the thing is, the space is so close. You know what I mean? And a lot of things people don't realize is success is based off of relationships.
Facts.
Where in the NFT space, relationships are everything. You know what I mean? So you see these art pieces. You're like, how can a pig sell for $10,000? It's like a picture of a pig or something. You know what I mean? I seen one dude send his hair follicles as an NFT.
So take me through the process of how do you get to the blockchain? Like, what's the step to get into the NFT space?
So I've recently become a creator. I've created my first one for my project called Vices, and I've created a Smoky Vices card. But the process is you have to find first. You have to figure out what kind of art you want to create, right?
Gotcha.
So let's say if you're an artist, you might want to use a video clip from your video. Cut that up, and then you have to find where you can mint it. So if you're going to create an NFT, you have to mint it, and it costs gas fees, which is cryptocurrency.
Gotcha.
ETH, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So you have to pay a certain amount of ETH to put it on the blockchain.
And that's that ethos that
Yes.
you call coin. Okay, I got you.
So like if I went through, it just depends on which website I went through to upload it. Okay, so there's some that'll allow you to create the NFT for free,
Gotcha.
but then it's going to charge you super high gas fees when they purchase it. So like if you bought one of my NFTs and then tried to resell it, they're going to charge you the resale fees, even if you want to give it away.
Makes sense. I mean, you either gonna pay
up
nothing,
front or afterwards.
yeah,
Right?
it's kind of that makes sense.
So when you're creating an NFT, the first thing you do is you figure out the piece of art you want to create. Then you figure out which site you want to go. There's two. There's either Rarible, you can go OpenSea, or you can go to Mintable.
Gotcha.
These are three websites that I use.
Okay.
And you create the smart contract, put how many percentage you want off of resales. You can either set it for auction or bid, and then you put the details of what they get with the NFT. Some people have physical copies of the NFT they send, and some people just keep it all digital. So it's really up to you. Right now, everything is in the beta phase. So, you know, if you want to get into space, it's so
Good time to get in.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kind
the
of
perfect time because.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. It's the perfect time to get in because everything, like people are still creating the avenues to do it. There's no set way to market your NFT. Everybody just does it on Twitter and Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying?
So, quick question: like, do you think the phase of cash, because it's gone?
Yeah.
Because the only people I ever see carry cash is rappers.
Right. Well, cash is easy to lose. You know, also, you know, with our currency not being backed by gold anymore, it makes more sense to go to the cryptocurrency because if we can be the ones who control the cryptocurrency when everybody else hops on the wave, then we control the money, and that's who controls the power.
Yeah, because I look at it like, man, my wife and I was sitting back, and since like the pandemic started, we was like, man, I can't think of the last time I touched
$1.
Like, bro, I can't, because everything was Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The quote unquote fear of Corona is like you trying to keep your hands clean, so the exchanging of money kind of think about it's kind of like unsanitary.
It's almost like it's crazy because I went to school for electrical engineering, technology, coding, and all that stuff. Right?
Got you.
So when I first got into school, like 2006, in college, they were talking about purchasing digital space. You know what I mean? And now everything is digital, and it makes sense because of the pandemic. It's weird because it's almost like they created the space to make the digital world pop, because all throughout the pandemic you see people making millions of dollars off of selling digital art, buying cryptocurrency, buying digital space or land, because that's where that's what's going to be next. If Corona doesn't go away, I mean, we're going to have.
I feel like once Corona, it's gonna go away. I think the psyche of our minds,
It's going to change.
We're used to not having cash.
Right.
Somebody say, "Hey man, let me borrow some money." I ain't got to go in my pocket. Hey bro, you got Cash App?
Yeah.
You got Apple Pay? Just send it. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? I think the idea of money, probably the next 5 years, it's out of here.
Yeah.
As cash as we know it is going to be completely irrelevant.
Facts.
Who want to sit down and start trying to worry about breaking down change? It makes it safer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the little cookie spot that deliver here?
You talking about
Damn.
You talking about downtown?
Like, you know what I'm saying? They be doing like the little cookies and ice cream. They be delivering all over. See, I can't think of it. It come to my mind in a minute. It's white and blue.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name either.
Anyway, if you go to their stores, a lot of them say now, we don't accept cash.
For
We
real?
only accept card. So that way, if you try to rob the store, what
You
are you gonna
can't.
get? It's
You're not gonna
no
get some
cash here.
cookies.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we are now. That's gonna be like that's gonna cut down on people trying to rob gas stations.
hmm
I mean, what's in there? Banks is going to pretty much as we know it is going to dry up
Yeah.
because you're not going into the bank to drop in cash.
And I think the thing about cash is people just need something tangible. People haven't really wrapped their idea around selling ideas, but we've been doing it our whole life.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like it's easy for me to get into the crypto space because I sell music. You can't grab music. You know what I
Facts.
mean?
Not no more.
Not anymore, right? People are not selling CDs, and we okay. People is like the rappers look like they making more money. They're more for one. They're more financially sound than they were when I was growing up.
Facts.
But even now, most of these rappers are their own bosses in their own right. You know what I mean? Because you know they're in a space to where they don't have to touch money like that. You know
That's
what I mean?
real. That's real.
Mhm.
Before we get out of here, like I said, man, I gotta get to it because I know you're a spiritual guy, and I also know that you've been in the industry. So for a minute, from working with Day 26 and Eric Bellinger, and you done seen all the tricks and the gimmicks that people do to get to the top. Lil Nas X drops these Satan Nikes. What is your perspective when looking at Lil Nas X in these shoes? Did he go too far?
I mean, I've seen a lot of things over the years. He ain't went further than anybody else, to be honest. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But you know, my initial reaction when I seen it was, "Damn, what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. However, just looking at Lil Nas X, like he's the greatest troll I've ever seen.
Better
Like,
than 6ix9ine.
yes, way better, bro. Like I've never seen him lose a troll bout online.
Have you
Like
seen 6ix9ine lose one?
I'm talking about Lil Nas X, cause like you gotta think. With
He did just troll 6ix9ine
yeah,
and won that kind
he
of
won
spot.
that. He got the tit troll. He got this devil troll. And this the thing. The fucked up part is Nike released a Jesus shoe. You know what I'm saying?
But no, that wasn't Nike though.
That was the same
Same
situation.
company.
Okay, so that's what people are going to argue, right? So I think the issue is, you know, you can't control freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing. Like, you know what I mean? What you stand on and what you believe in, like if you choose to live in a society or the society of the United States and say, we're going to stand on freedom of speech, everybody can say whatever the hell they want, then you can't say anything. You know what I mean? From that standpoint. From a personal standpoint, anybody can have an opinion. But it's not my place. I don't listen to Lil Nas X, so it don't affect me or my kids.
I mean, that's the cop out. But what's the opinion when you saw
My
it?
actual opinion, I was shocked. I mean, I was like,
was the shoes hard?
they was definitely
Them
hard.
boys
Them
was fire
was
as hell.
hard than a bitch. But then I see that
No
little
pun intended.
the emblem. I was like, I can't do it. But
Can't do the little.
because I like that colorway. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because that's how they get you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get you. They try to get you with some shit that you like. But you just gotta be willing to stand on shit that you believe in if that's an issue for you. You know what I'm saying?
So now he sued. Nike sued him and sued Mischief, the name of the shoe. I mean the shoe brand.
They going. I mean, I think Nike gonna lose.
You think so?
I mean, because technically he didn't say Nike was releasing it. You know what I'm saying? And this is the
But
thing.
the way that they promoted it with the Nike's emblem and the portrait as if this is what Nike is and this is what Nike stand by and this is the official Nike shoe.
It could go either way, bro. Like, and that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? I think Nike should have sued because for one, they're taking the backlash. You know what I'm saying? Lil Nas X is getting all the exposure he wants.
Facts. Number one album, number one single, the single up number one right now.
Exactly. So like for me, I've seen it. So like I can already see he's a troll. I don't even know, bro, really, you know, what they say he is.
Gay or not. Why people don't want to say gay no more?
I don't want
the gay community. They like the mob. You better not even say it.
I don't want to say nothing the wrong way, but like I don't know, bro, gay. I don't know, bro, like you know what I mean,
trolling
or not. But I feel like he's the greatest troll we've seen.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But I just think everybody got their own opinion. So whatever your opinion is, that's what it is. And if you want to have your freedom of speech, you can't let that affect you. I think Nike should have sued because they the one taking the biggest loss.
Gotcha.
So if they win, it's going to be on some defamation Like I didn't look at
Because
it from
people
that.
was threatening to boycott Nike when they saw that.
Exactly. So then you got, I mean, and then Lil Nas X, but they already prepared for these lawsuits when they
Gotcha.
created this. This is what they want. But the money they probably making is what they
Well, I
expected.
put it like this: Nike did get a temporary cease and desist on the shoes, so they can't sell
None of them.
no more of the shoes. So whatever left, it was only a limited amount
It was
anyway.
only like 600.
But if they do get it shut down, the people that probably already got their shoes, them boys gonna hit eBay or StockX, gonna be something crazy
Yeah, from a
because it's gonna be
business
super limited.
standpoint, that was some amazing marketing.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? But from a personal standpoint, I just don't rock with that. But I
People
understand.
hate to see the devil, but people love to live like the devil.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I done did a bunch of dirt in my day. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna talk about from a biblical standpoint,
You still doing dirt?
no.
I am. I be fucking up.
I mean, not the dirt that I was doing back in the
Oh,
day.
okay.
I got my own sins. If we talking about sins, we all got sins. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go the biblical standpoint, it's tough because we in Texas. It's the Bible
Gotcha.
Belt. But like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, don't want to look themselves in the eye, but they always pointing the finger. That's how I look
real.
at it. You know what I mean? So I don't really have a standpoint on it because I look at it like this. If I'm raising my kids, it's going to be a lot of outside influences outside of him. They go to school for 8 hours a day. I don't know what they see. You know what I mean? So it's on me to stand on what I believe in and what I want them to see.
And had that conversation because a lot of people be
Exactly.
like, "Oh man, my son seeing that, it's gonna make him gay." Like that's not gonna make him gay. If he gonna be gay, he gonna be
That
gay
nigga was gay
regardless.
already.
I seen the meme. They was like, "Well, if Lil Nas X gonna make your son gay, then turn on WAP. It should turn him back straight." If that's a theory,
how is a song gonna make you gay, bro? You know what I'm saying?
they feel like exposing gay stuff to kids
Oh yeah,
makes them gay.
for sure. I mean, it could. I ain't gonna say it makes them gay, but exposing kids to anything is gonna make them curious about it.
Facts. That's real.
But as a parent, that's where you step in. You know what I'm saying?
Had them conversations.
If you're not a good parent, then just say that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about this shit.
It's your fault if you letting music videos raise your kid. You know what I'm saying? And that was my downfall with Terry. I wasn't there like I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I'm here now, bro. It don't matter how old he is. He's 27, and I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I won't let that happen again. We playing catch for the first time tomorrow.
Oh man, it's tough. It's tough, bro.
But no, man. Other than getting into the NFT, music wise, like man, what you working on? What can we expect right now coming up for Matt Legacy?
Releasing a project of my own called Vices.
Gotcha.
That the NFT is going to be attached to, of course. Shooting a couple visuals for that just to show my songwriting side, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you're a producer, they don't think you can write, but that's actually, where I get a lot of my places from is writing. So with this project, I just want to, show my songwriting side. Outside of that, I got a bunch of placement opportunities on the table. I got 2 movie opportunities that I'm working on right now that I don't want to speak on because I don't want to jinx it. But I got 1 potential placement with Dave East that we might get. I don't know. I don't like talking about this type of stuff because it's still in the air. You know what I'm saying?
But if there's anything out right now that people can tap in, what would you say to go tap in?
Go check out some of Tierra's joints that I did last year. Tierra Yvonne, she just dropped a song a couple months ago called TikTok. It's pretty hard. I produced that. I got a couple joints with people in Oakland. I just produced a track with Rocky Fresh, who used to be signed to MMG. And I did a song with Mr. Fab from Oakland.
Okay.
And I did another song with somebody else from Oakland. I just can't remember what his name is. He's just a young dude.
Okay, I got you.
But outside of that, that's pretty much what I'm working on right now. Every day I produce. I got like a list of placement opportunities that I get every week that I try to knock out. So it just depends on how the ball falls. I got a trip to LA planned to actually meet up with Dame Dash to try to talk about this NFT as soon as I can get a schedule with my bro. So
hey man,
that's really my next phase.
Well, you definitely on something new. You definitely on an innovative path. Man, hopefully this makes you one of the next black billionaires. Getting in
Trying
there
to be
early.
there.
I'm gonna try to be there with you.
We're gonna speak it into existence,
Hey,
brother.
man. Hey, and I'm gonna be there with you, bro. So until we meet again, Matt Legacy, bro, it's good sitting down with you, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Peace out.